Hey, what's going on YouTube? Aura here. Let me go ahead and just turn off this music real quick. I know this is, I'm the Rhino from last episode. I figured my last login was my 100 days on this account, and that's kind of insane to think about since in this series we are only just on Venus or like Mercury or whatever. So I'm not really too far as like uploads go. Like I'm not super far in the series. So this might be major spoilers if you sort of want to keep in touch with the series. But since it's been 100 days, I kind of want to go over what I've done in my 100 days of playing Warframe on this account, because 100 days just went by fast. That's been like three months and a couple weeks, which is kind of crazy. So let's go over to my account. I basically been playing non-stop for I guess 100 days now. So if we go over to my stats again, I haven't been playing any other game other than Warframe. I've literally touched nothing else. So we're just gonna go over pretty much everything I've done, because it's probably been my fastest progression on an account so far, honestly. So here are my stats for these things. I don't know what these are. I have no idea what an Eyes of Bright Blight is. I don't know what any of this is. So I've been playing for 16 days, which is 391 hours in about 3 months, which is kind of crazy. Some of this time has been, me leaving the game open when I go to sleep and stuff like that, because I just kind of, mess that up. My completion rate is 91%. That's pretty good. Takes me around 4 seconds to do a cipher. Pretty good as well. These are just some more, basic stats, kind of boring stuff. If we go over to my profile, you'll see that I'm already Mastery Rank 18. If you don't know what Mastery Rank is your, account rank. So I'm already Mastery Rank 18. I'm already past, the I can unlock everything stage already, which is super crazy. My clan is also rank 7. My most used Warframe is Excalibur. You guys probably already know that. I love Excalibur. Ever since I unlocked the Opticore Vandal, I've been using, hold on. Let's go back to Warframes here. So my top 3 Warframes I've used are Excalibur, Frost, and Rhino. I loved Rhino when I was using Rhino. He was amazing. And then Frost was someone I do like, and I will use on Corpus, defense type of missions, because of the fact that he's super armory, so he can, unlike Limbo, I use Limbo for pretty much any defense now, but because of the Corpus bubbles, I use Frost, and, if I didn't have that with Limbo, Limbo would be dying pretty quickly, so that's why I use Frost a little more on, Corpus defenses and stuff like that. Excalibur I use for most of my boss fights, and I haven't used him as much anymore, but I normally just use him for boss fights until I unlock the other one. When we go over to the Opticore Vandal, I was using the Heck for a long time, and everyone loves the Heck. The Heck is a great weapon, but it didn't do enough damage to where I was in the game, and once I unlocked Opticore Vandal, I was able to start progressing more, and I just fell in love with this weapon. It's super good, Rubico Prime, also one of the best weapons I have in my arsenal as well. I use this for Eidolons, I use this for Corpus and stuff like that. So this is what I use for armor. This is what I use for... I'll go over everything. My Hystrix was something I used for a long time as well, until I unlocked some better things. The Hystrix, super good weapon. It's super good, but now that I've unlocked better things, I thought I was going to be able to keep this for a long time, but I did not. Once I unlocked Ballistica and all these other weapons, I just this isn't, it doesn't really suit me anymore. I did have a lot of Orkin blue potatoes on some of my weapons that I did end up selling, so there was a waste of plat on my part. Money that I put into the game, like $5 here and there, to just kind of throw away to literally nothing. When we go into melee, I had this for puncture for a really long time, and since I finally unlocked war, I've never used war before, and it's really not that good stat-wise, but I've never had war before on all my accounts, and the amount of time I've been playing ever since war was introduced to the game. So the fact that I finally found it after all this time and all the time I've been playing, I'm obviously going to keep this and use it every time I can. So this is what I was using for puncture and stuff like that for a while. It was super good. When we go over to Sentinels, I use Carrier a lot because I played a lot of solo. But because I finally unlocked Helios, I use Helios now. I normally have like my weapons turned off of my Sentinels because I'd rather have the animals for doing those. And when we go over to my animals, obviously the Hemolyth Charger is something I use a lot. And I'm trying to unlock all the dogs and stuff like that, which is why you see my other one over there. The Hemolyth Charger is one of the ones I do like the most, but I just unlocked a brand new one, which I think was the Chessa, which I am kind of liking because it can make me invisible and stuff like that, and I really, really like that. I think it's the Chessa. I don't know what dog this is. What dog are you? Are you a Chessa? You are Lotus because it has a little lotus. Yeah, you're a Karasa. Basically, this Cooper allows me to go invisible, and if I go down and stuff like that, it's super helpful. If we go over back to here, this video is just sort of random. Like, I'm sorry if you don't enjoy this type of stuff, but it's kind of random. The reason why I use Carrier all the time is because I play solo a lot, so I always had, run into ammo. That's why I use that, but now I use Helios to scan everything, and I've always loved Helios. Obviously, these are the only Archwing weapons I use. When it comes over to the amps, kind of whatever. I never built my own amp before until this series, which is super dope. So let's start up here. Since I unlocked the Endo Farm, I kind of can start decorating with Iotans now, which is kind of cool. When we go over Star Chart progress, I am only on Sedna. There are a few nodes I haven't finished. I also haven't finished Lua. But, I'm almost done the Star Chart, and most people would be finished by now, by, like, Mastery Rank, I want to say, like, 6 or 7. They'd be done all of this, but I have not, and I'm Mastery Rank 18. I should be done, but I'm not because I've just been taking my time going through each planet, farming out the bosses on each planet, and then going on to the next one and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I've been pacing myself. When we go over to Syndicates as well, these are the 3 I started off with. Obviously, this one is almost max. This one, 2 away from max, and then this one, 3 away from max. Those are my Syndicates. If we go over to... I don't know if it'll allow me to show this. With the Onstron, I am 1 away from getting max with them. With these guys, I only just started doing that because I'm like, I can't do Eidolons. But then I realized I could just be carried to do Eidolons, so it's okay, and I can get a lot of standing. When we go over to Solaris as well, I'm also 1 away. The way I was doing this before, and the way I recommend you guys to do this, is to keep upgrading things, like buy everything in your section and then upgrade to the next one. But because with Solaris, you need to go up to the max tier to be able to unlock Fox Solaris stuff, that was sort of why I didn't do that, because I can't fight the orbs yet, so that's how I've been pacing everything. I actually maxed out a Syndicate before, so I don't know when you get to like the 100 mark and you upgrade to the last one, do you keep all that standing, I don't know. When we go over to, the quests I completed, I got a few more to do. We are almost done with all of this, and there will be a new quest coming out pretty soon. Kind of hyped for that. When we go over to companions and everything, like I said, I've been trying to unlock all the dogs, and I haven't got a cat yet. I thought I had the cat thing, but I don't. I don't know why. I think I've sold all of them, and I just don't know why I haven't done that. I'll go over that soon. When we go over all the weapons I've used a bunch of weapons, which is obviously why I'm Mastery Rank 18. These are all the weapons I've used, and also why my Star Chart stuff isn't finished, because I've just been focusing on all of these things. As of recently, I've kind of died down of focusing on building because I'm like, man, I really need to focus on the Star Chart. So basically what I do every single day of playing Warframe is I log in, I do whatever alerts there is to do, I do those. I'll do my invasions if there's anything I need to look for. I'll do my Syndicate stuff if there's anything I need to do. I will do my... Okay, I'll do my, what's this called again? Sortie. I'll do my sortie. But I mostly start with doing all my open world stuff and getting, standing for them. So that's basically it. It takes a couple, like an hour or two to get all my daily stuff done. Or even more, and then by that time I'm like, okay, what else do I want to do? Do I want to complete the Star Chart? Do I want to focus on all these things I need to be collecting to finish building these. Like, when you start a new Warframe account and you haven't done absolutely everything, there's a shit ton of stuff to do. Like, there's so much. We'll go over to here. I got a lot of endo. Well, not a lot of endo, but a good amount of endo. My credits are lacking a lot because I don't farm for credits, and I probably should. I have 2,000 duplicates. Really isn't that good, but I got a lot of mods here that I've unlocked. I still haven't been able to get any void mods I'm looking for like ability duration, which kind of sucks. This is the dog I use at the moment when I'm not using Helios. I don't really know what I'd use him for, but he's kind of good because, again, it makes you go invisible. And these are the Warframes I have unlocked. We got Ash, we have Ember, we got Equinox, we got Excalibur, Frost, Gera, Hydroid Prime, Inaros, Limbo, Loki, Mag, Mirage Prime, Nova, Nyx, Oberon, Rhino, Saren Prime, and Valkyrie, and Vauban. For the Warframes I use the most for each sort of thing I do, I use Ember for infested missions because you normally just need heat damage on them. And with their like heat sort of buff, you know, a lot of people don't like Ember anymore, but I find it super useful for infested missions. I don't really use Ash a whole lot. He's okay for like solo, but I don't know how to use him properly, so I haven't used him a whole lot. I use Equinox for mostly her day form with the slash damage and stuff because crowd control just isn't as important as it used to be, so I normally use Equinox for like relic missions. That's really about it. I don't really use Equinox for anything else. Excalibur I use for my boss fights. I used to use him for open world because they can just kill absolutely everything. Frost I used to use for all my defenses and excavations and all that kind of stuff. But then I since switched over to Limbo. But then since I realized these bubbles will destroy Limbo's rift, and I have a big and a small bubble set up. But when I have a small bubble set up, I can't really... I can't take a lot of hits as Limbo, so I kind of switched over to using Frost for, like, Corpus stuff when there's bubbles and things are going to get rid of my Limbo Rift, you know? Gera is one of the Warframes I've been waiting for so long because her damage output is just absolutely insane. I haven't used her as much as I would like to since leveling her up all the way. I would love to use her a lot more. But I don't really know what I would use her for other than just super high level missions and I just want to kill everything. But Gera is someone I want to use a lot more. But because I do a lot of open world stuff, just getting up that, reputation and doing like a lot of like defenses and stuff like that, I haven't been able to use a lot of Warframes. I use Hydroid Prime for sort of like my survival missions if I need to, mostly Corpus survival because this does like magnetic and stuff. But I use Hydroid for mostly survival missions. That's generally about it. I use Inaros for all the farming stuff that I need to do, or like super high level missions, like sorties and stuff like that. Because he's just an absolute beast, and I love Inaros. I use him for the index, stuff like that, and again, my sorties. Limbo is definitely one of my favorite Warframes to play as, and I just love Limbo a lot. I've always loved Limbo. And the reason why I use him so much in open world is because open world you had to defend certain things all the time, right? So I decided to use Limbo mostly for open world and other defense missions that aren't Corpus. So I use Limbo a lot, and I love using Limbo. Loki is someone I use for like syndicate missions, capture missions, something I want to go through fast because I have a speed. My speed, he's the fastest Warframe in the game, and it's got some speed on him, so that's normally what I use him for. Oops. I just kind of go invisible, I just speed through everything. Meg, haven't used her a whole lot. She's okay, but I don't understand her playstyle all too much because I haven't played her enough. Mirage, super frame here. I do like using Mirage, but again, I don't know what I would really use her for all the time. There's a lot of Warframes here I kind of want to diverse when I have the chance to, but like she's good at doing a lot of damage, and I don't know what I'd really use that for, Nova was another Warframe I've been wanting to use for a long time, and then just kind of didn't. Because I don't have my duration for my abilities, that Nova right now for me is just kind of pointless. She's super good, but because I do a lot of solo stuff and not on the start chart, it's kind of pointless. Nyx, I used to use for only interception missions. She's also okay, but like her play style is really like dependent on certain things. Oberon is basically the best solo healer in the game until you get Trinity, but Trinity isn't really like Trinity's like a squad healer, you know? So I use Oberon for I kind of been using him a little bit more ever since I brought him into Eidolon hunting, because I have the damage to health to energy. So he basically gives endlessly heal things, and that's why I like using him in solo a lot of the time if I just want to do solo stuff. Rhino was someone I was using in open world for a long time because I was just dying all the time. I should be using him for like sorties and stuff like that, but kind of use him for like nightmare missions and, you know, all the normal stuff. He's okay. You know, I don't use him as much as I'd like to. I kind of got like an Iron Man theme going on here. This is like a random color selector thing, so it looks kind of cool. Saren, I basically just use for focus farming in ESO. I would be farming a lot more in ESO, but I do not because I don't have any greater license or Eidolon lenses yet, so I just been kind of farming focus with the Eidolons, but that's normally what I use Saren for. I love Saren. I'm happy I have Saren Prime on this account without having any of the relics, which is super cool, and I do love Saren. She's super good, but again, most of these Warframes I have are just built to certain specific standards, you know? Valkyr, if you have Excalibur, there's like really no point. She's okay, she can go invincible, but I don't have a good playstyle for her right now, so she's just kind of left in the dust. Vauban gets a lot of hate because, well, he's not so good anymore, but if you're doing infested defenses or infested excavations, he's super good because he can just prop up the enemies because infested will come running towards his Bastille, and he's good. But since I normally use Ember all the time, I don't really use Vauban unless I need to. I normally use Ember for like any infested that isn't like a defense, you know, and I use Vauban for the defenses, and those are all the Warframes I have right now. A lot of more Warframes to go, a lot more platinum to be earned. Let me go over my main weapons that I use the Dread for straight slash damage if I'm fighting infested bosses or I need a lot of base damage on them. That's what I use. Now that I have the Ignis Wraith, that's what I use a lot more because fire damage is super good. When we go over to my build for Grineer, I use the Opticore Vandal. I don't really have anything, like, it kind of struggles to kill things in like 1 or 2 hits. Sometimes, not all the time, but if they're over level like 50, it kind of struggles a little bit. Kind of sucks. Paris Prime, haven't used ever since. Gorkata, never used ever since. The Grinlock is one of my favorite weapons in the entire game, and the Prisma Grinlock came out recently, and I just had to pick it up because I love it. But I also have the Rubico Prime, which is just better, but I liked, you know, like car type of weapons, you know, like an assault rifle slash sniper rifle with a scope, you know, I like that in games, and I love the Grinlock. You know, I use a Grinlock when I'm in lower level Corpus missions, but if I'm on higher level, I will obviously use my Rubico. And then, you know, I got these other 2 weapons. These can be pretty decent builds, but those are the weapons that I use most of the time. When we go over to secondaries, I'm just leveling this up. I got Ballistica Prime for base puncture damage, but ever since I got the Metadetron, this isn't so good. And you want to know why it's not so good? Because this thing has heat, corrosive, and radiation. This thing can one-shot pretty much any Grineer, and it's super good. This weapon is super useful. Pick it up if you can. I use the Bronco for my Corpus stuff. It's okay. If I had the 2 of them, it'd be a lot better. It's not that good, but, you know, it gets the job done. I got the Dex Spherus because of the yearly stuff that went on. Again, this can be useful, but I don't have a specific purpose for it. I still have this weapon. I don't know why I do. I just kind of do. Maybe if I want to run like Ember instead of using my Piranha, I'll use that. We have the Twin Gremlins. I also don't use these anymore either. And then my Piranha Prime, which is one of my favorite weapons that I bring to ESO for the heaviest slash damage. And mostly just slash damage. You know, I'll use this for like its heat, but since I have better weapons in each category, it's kind of left in the dust. And I have so many melee weapons that is kind of crazy. So this is my new puncture melee weapon because there isn't many that I have so far, so this is my go-to for puncture. The Broken Spectre is an okay weapon, but since I have War, I'm going to be using War a lot more. This weapon is okay, but I have something better, which is the Graham Prime, which again I will use for if I need pure slash damage, which is normally the theme of my weapons, if you haven't noticed. Like, if I need something that has like a cool status effect, you know, I'll use that, but if I need pure like puncture or slash, then I'll use those for like those higher levels. Which, you know, that really isn't the best way to build something, but that's sort of just how I do stuff, you know, like boss battle, stuff like that. So I use this for like boss battles and high level infested. I got the Koga Prime, really not that good. It's okay. 90% of the weapons and Warframes in the game are okay if you build them correctly. Some of them kind of useless, but most of them are okay. The Orthos was something I was using for a while until I got the Legion. And then I threw my Legion away because I got Silva and Aegis Prime. So this weapon, good. You know, everyone, you know, wants this thing, but it's okay. I have the Reaper Prime. I keep all my Prime stuff now because, you know, why wouldn't I? The Reaper, it's okay. I got something better. That's all I gotta say. And the Redeemer Prime, something I wanted to use for such a long time because it seems so good, and then it's like, oh, I have Graham. Why would I need this anymore? So I don't really use it as much as I'd like to. A lot of these weapons I will be going back to and getting proper builds for them, but for right now I just use specific weapons. The Civil and Aegis Prime I use for Infested for its heat damage, but now since I have the Zenistar on my 100-day login, I'm probably going to start using this a lot more. It kind of sucks that it's not a Prime, and this is, but I'm probably going to use this weapon a lot more. I have my War that I bring to my Corpus missions because I finally have it, and I'm never gonna let it go, ever, and I'm probably going to use it as long as I can. And then we have my first Zod that I've ever made. Totally just random stuff that I just threw on, and yeah, that's my Zod. When we go over to focus stuff, I have 3 trees unlocked. We got Merides, Anurik, and Yanaru. All 3 of these. This one has been fully fleshed out, the one I've been working on the most. I'm going to start upgrading all of these, and then moving on to the next one. So, I don't have a lot of lenses. Like, if we go into my lens stuff, like, I don't have a lot of lenses. And I'm not going to farm focus in ESO until I have a greater lens. But to make a greater lens, you need 4 of that specific lens. So like if I want to make a Verizon greater lens, I would need 4 of these to build one of those. And then I got to make it into an Eidolon lens. I've never done that before. And a lot of complications I need to do with that. But Meride is the one I use the most at the moment. Just because I like it and it's the one that I chose. So it's the one I'm going to upgrade first. Each, you know, thing has its own benefits, stuff like that, but this is just the one I'm using at the moment. As when we go into all of my things here, we got Carrier, Death Cube. Carrier, again, I use for solo stuff if I really need to. Detch Cube, I don't use a lot because I don't know really what he's good for. This one, it's okay. Again, haven't used it a whole lot. Helios, I love scanning things. I like learning everything, so I'm going to be bringing Helios everywhere that I can when he is needed until he's not needed anymore. This is the dog I use now, which is Lotus, because it has a Lotus pattern on it. You can't see it because it's wearing a mask, but that's okay. This is my go-to Kubro now because it can turn me invisible, and that's good. And it can turn himself invisible, so we can attack enemies while invisible, which is super good. We have Shade and Shade Prime. I used to use Shade with Limbo or Low-Key, but I'm not really good at keeping Shade's invisibility on, so I don't really use him all that much anymore. We have my Taxon. Again, don't really use him anymore. And then Worm, again, don't really use him anymore. If we go into my gear, you know, nothing too special to write home about. Emotes, nothing too special for there. I don't think there's anything else I need to showcase, but like in 100 days, that's a lot of shit. Like that, like if I was playing, like a lot of times I could have been playing a lot more, but I just decided to watch YouTube. So if you go over to my Kubros, I have 3 types of Kubros, 4 types. I got Herps, which is my Infested, Luna, which was I think my first, and then Natsu for whatever one that is. So those are my ones. Again, I'm trying to unlock everything in this account, which is going to cost a lot of platinum, and I need to start trading a lot more, but I haven't done that. If we go over to here, which we won't, that is the infested room, nothing too special over there. This is my operator room, which is where I want to put a lot of my story stuff. So like when I get those posters, I want to put those on there. We have this vase from one of the story quests. So anything like super important that I want to kind of remember, I want to put inside of here. This is my operator. I don't have a name for her yet, but that's what she looks like. She's cool. She's dope. I don't know if I like the color scheme because I wanted to make her sort of like evil. But again, I want my operators to look like Orkin themed. Then here's this one room I've been avoiding for a long time because I thought I'd have to jump into a quest, but I realized I haven't got to Mochi yet, so I don't need to. Here's my little music section where I play my music. There's my low key I have right now. I can put some fish in here, which I might do at some point. Maybe try and get like one of every fish, if possible. You can also put some stuff over here as well. We can get like stencils, make the place look a little cooler. That costs platinum. That won't be until I finish pretty much everything. And then we can get like cool little setups here, and I think you could put like some stuff in there, which is pretty cool. This is going to be my Noggle little area here, so I got 2 Excalibur Noggles because they gave us 2. Because some people didn't get one, so they gave everybody one, and now I have 2, and we got the little wolf one up there. Here's some glyphs that I have, because I want to sort of, you know, decorate my little personal quarters. You can kneel on this. Don't know what that does, but it's okay. And this is where I have my floofs. That's where I'm going to stack my floofs. So yeah. In 100 days, I've done quite a lot. Not going to lie. I've done a lot more than I should have. I could have done a lot more things, but I just kind of, you know, focused on my daily stuff. And then I kind of avoided other things, unfortunately. So I hope you guys did enjoy this sort of random video. It's super random. Came out of nowhere. But I'm like, it's been 100 days. Why not, you know? So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys wait a minute, gotta go to the dojo first. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys, you know, smash the like button, comment down below, subscribe if you're new. Click the post notification bell, be notified when I upload. First off, Nightwave. I'm 2 away. I always wait until last minute to finish these, so that'll be done. If we go over to my dojo, if you guys want to join my dojo, comment down below. This dojo is more towards newer players, but anyone can join if you need a dojo. Absolutely let me know. We can take like 70 more people at the moment. So here's the dojo. I set it up to where anybody can build whatever they want to now, since at first I took my own time before, you know, inviting other people to finish everything. So this is sort of like just a reactor room. You know, I wanted to finish all my main rooms first before really inviting people, so most of the stuff was done solo. This is where you do some of those things. Here's my little telepad. You can go to all labs, hall 1, reactor 2, reactor room 2, and oracle, and the trade and bank room. Getting a lot of voice cracks, I don't know why. Here's an elevator that brings you up to the 2nd floor. So you take the elevator, you go up. You come into here, which is just a long hallway that is kind of pointless. And then here we have the bank and trading post. No one's finished that for some reason. Here is my my little bank, you know, for people to drop in some stuff. And I don't like how you can drop in like specific resources. Like, I wish it would tell you exactly what you needed versus don't need, because some of these things you could put in here, like a forma. Like, what would I need a forma for other than like rooms, you know? So if I like threw in everything I have right now, like some of these things would just go to waste. Even like, you know, you can throw on crystals in there. Like, why would I need to do that, you know? Here's the trade post where should I do most of my trading at, which I need to start doing a lot more. So really, I'm gonna have to finish the star chart pretty soon, which I'm probably gonna do in the next few days, so I can start farming a lot more things. Here's a random reactor room. Over here we have another reactor room. If you go over to here, you guessed it, a reactor room. And if you come over here, we just have the oracle, which really serves no purpose. You just need this to build all the labs, and it looks cool. And if we go all the way over here, we have some empty space, basically. There's really There's really nothing here. I can upgrade this maybe a little bit further. I don't know. Some of these rooms come too close to each other, so this is just a bunch of random stuff. Here's my my barracks. You know, it's really nothing too special with those. They're just basically random rooms. We'll go in there in a second. And then here we have the dueling room, which I never dueled before, but you could totally duel people here too. So like I said, now that I've finished all the basic stuff, getting all the labs and everything, as you can see, players can start building whatever they like, you know? Which is cool that someone's actually, you know, putting up decorations and stuff like that. So whenever we get more, like, decorative people, I'm sure this clan will look amazing, but I don't have artistic approaches to stuff, as you can clearly tell. Here's the bio lab. I've kind of dwelled off focusing on these because they require so much, and I don't have enough credits for those. So there's the bio lab. We have the chem lab here, which is all this stuff. Most of the stuff I do have. Some of the stuff I don't have. A lot of my clan has been doing a lot of this stuff on their own, which I love them for because I don't have to do every single thing, which I'm happy about having all these people in my clan. All of this stuff is almost done as well, which is absolutely insane. I love my clan. We do need more people in my clan, though. Like, we really do need more people, because I can hold up to 100 people, and right now we have 25 people and 8 people who have not chosen to participate yet. So, we can have like 50 more people, essentially, and this place would be bopping if you guys want to come in, you know, play with the clan, you know, we can all be friends. That'd be pretty dope. The Orkin Lab, kind of pointless now since you can't make these, and I don't think you can make these, and I never used these before in my life, honestly. Not gonna lie, but they're good for the keys. They're good for the keys, but I don't know if you can actually do anything with these anymore. I've never been able to use those before. We have this thing here, which is pointless. That's cool. And then we have the Tenno Lab over here, which I realized that a lot of stuff was finished that I kind of never realized, like Banshee. I can finish making Banshee. I can finish making Nezha. I can finish building Volt. And then Wukong is starting up, and all these things that I can start making, but I need so much more platinum, and it sucks. So yeah, if you guys want to join my clan, make sure you guys let me know. Because the clan is part of my Discord server as well. So if you guys want to be part of my Discord server, you know, join the clan, you know, it's pretty cool. My server is public, though, so it's not really meant for the clan, but it's whatever. And then we have this room, which is just kind of whatever. This is where I put my 100, what are the, barricade, whatever those are called. And this is sort of like our next little space to upgrade, you know? So I'm hoping we get some artistic, if you are like an artistic, you know, interior designer or whatever, like you love building things in Warframe and you love to customize and make things look amazing, please let me know down in the comments, because that would be amazing. But I might make a proper video being like, hey, we need more people to join and stuff like that. So that's everything I've done in 100 days. 100 days. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next video. I rambled on so much in this video. Didn't mean to, but I'll see you guys in the next one, and see you guys.